All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Comment below. I see that you're here. I see Sam. Hey, what's up, Sam? Hey, Leslie. Who else is hanging out with us? Let us know. Comment below, and we'll get started. Tonight's training with you is really about a fresh start, right? This is the last training that we're going to be doing this year because the holidays. I think things could just get a little bit crazy for people, and I know that we're not going to be able to get anybody together the same way that we can tonight. In order to give you the information that's really required for you to have the best 2015 that you've ever had before. And Nikki and I are really excited to be here with you. Actually, you may not hear the excitement in my voice because we've been spending some late nights working on some projects recently. But the excitement comes from within because it's something that I know that we don't really have to hype up or anything like that, or we don't have to really sell you on why you should listen because you're here because you want to be a part of the Fresh Start, right? There were a lot of people that did their surveys, did their questionnaires that were actually turned away because they showed that they were more interested in complaining or being a victim of their reality, showing that even though they bought products and have been to events, that they're not willing to truly be coachable. Because if you are coachable, that means that when you learn something from somebody like Nikki and I, or from David Wood, or from any of the other leaders inside of Empower Network, being coachable means that you actually do it, no questions asked, right? So when somebody tells me they're coachable, but I've told them to do quite a few things and they went and gone and done it their own way, or they haven't taken action, I know that they're lying. Okay, and the reason that you're here with us right now or you're watching this video at some time later is because you sort of passed the test, in the sense that we wanted to bring a group together into 2015 with the new tribe here that we don't even have a name for it yet, but we have an energy, and that energy is one of empowerment. It's about letting go of the dead weight that has really been, I think, sort of like
Sorry, I got sorry.
A weird message.
Yeah.
It's like we could feel like this dead weight hanging around the team with people that were no longer active, that quit for reasons because they chose to become victims of their circumstance, and they were sitting around judging you, judging us, judging Empower Network as, well, a lot of different things. And it's not easy to build a team and thrive in that kind of environment. So this is like a big purge. We're really excited about the people that did choose to take the questionnaire seriously, that are demonstrating with your videos that you want to be here, right? It's funny how many people come out of the woodwork at the very last minute to get their questionnaire in because they don't want to be left behind. But the interesting thing about that is, you might want to look at that if you're one of those people who came in at the very last minute. Because if your reason for being here is to not be left behind instead of to create the life of your dreams, you might be having an issue creating the results that you want. So tonight's all about the fresh start. It's all about getting some clarity moving forward in 2015, because when we looked at the questionnaires, this is actually Nikki's super brilliant idea. She was like, I think we need to do a questionnaire, and I think we need to really dive deep and figure out where people are at so that we can better serve and better understand where each of you are at and how we can, what's that?
And where they're coming from.
Where you're coming from and how we can better serve you. And the questionnaire was nothing short of extremely illuminating. Okay,
yeah,
so illuminating, and we're so grateful for your answers because it's going to allow this session that we have with you tonight to be really, really powerful if you pay attention, listen closely, and be willing to get real with where you're at. And so a lot of the stuff that we're going to share with you tonight, for the sake of time...
Can we be a little more censored?
Sure.
I don't know why that's bothering me.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So... By the way, hey Don, what's up? Don, Leslie, anybody else commenting?
Here.
Sam is here?
Yeah, Sam is here.
Okay. Hey, if you're here and you're not commenting, comment right now. Okay? This is the fresh start. I don't want any fucking bullshit. okay, of people just sitting back and pretending like you're not here, okay? Okay, I'm going to be real with you for a second before we get real about getting clarity in your business, okay? Nikki and I did a training this past week where we taught people some amazing stuff on Facebook, okay? And a lot of people came to that training that were never a part of our downline, never a part of our team, okay? We've been doing trainings like that in different forms, mindset stuff, Instagram stuff. We've done all sorts of training over the last 2 years on our weekly hangouts, right? And over the last few months, less and less people were showing up, less and less people were being active, and so, you know, we said, well, we're going to take a little break to recalibrate, get clear on where we're going, and that's sort of where the new tribe came from too, right? We knew we had to shake some energy up. And I want you to comment below, because here's the thing. We got more love, gratitude, and support from people that have never talked to us before than we have gotten from the old team in the last few months, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, there's some of you that have been so grateful and so supportive, and we honor you and we know exactly who you are. Some of you have been off the map and not participating at all, and that's your biggest fucking problem when it comes to making this business work.
Why do you think that people weren't grateful?
Because you didn't realize how fucking awesome what we have for you and what Empower has for you actually is until it was almost taken away from you, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's been part of the reason for the shakeup, is because some people don't realize what they really have here. Some people don't realize what it takes to put a training on every single week when you don't feel like it, okay? And honestly, there were more than a few weeks where we didn't feel like it, okay? So this is the new start. I want to know that you're excited to build your business, okay? Because come time 2015, if we're not feeling the love, we're just not going to do Hangouts. Right? We're just not gonna do them, right? There's no reason. It doesn't benefit us as much as it's about giving you something to plug into and giving you something to grow your business. Okay? That's my spiel.
And feeling the love is also about. It's not about like we don't need to be worshipped, guys. It's like
I want you to participate. Yeah. I want you to engage with us and with your business and go out there and fucking build. And I don't know why I'm cursing so much tonight. I think it's because it's so much intense energy, and I'm so done and over where we've been, and I am so pumped for where we're going and who's with us right now.
And Abram, I think I just have to go back to that piece where you said, because this is actually some of what we've been talking about in our Facebook trainings. I know some of you have been attending those. As far as like, well, why are some people like more grateful than other people? And you said something very powerful about that, where most people are really at.
I don't remember what I said.
Themselves.
Huh?
They're all about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we really have we're not gonna like hit you over the head with it every time that we do a hangout. We're just saying this now.
This is the only time you're going to hear it.
Yeah,
and
probably the only time you're going to hear it.
And you're going to know if there's no more hangouts and stuff, you're going to know why.
Yeah.
You're going to know why.
Yeah. But, it's like people get so... the people that get so critical and so judgmental the moment things are not, exactly the way that they want to be is like... It's not going to allow them to make money anywhere. It doesn't matter where they go, what company they go to.
Yeah.
So, one of the distinctions that we've made for people in doing our Facebook trainings is that if you want to stand out above the crowd, when it comes to your marketing,
yeah.
You have to be interested in other people rather than interesting. And trying to dance like a monkey, be all, look at me, I'm so interesting. That's what most people do. And I'm telling you that if you're willing to make that shift in your marketing, it's also going to create like an internal shift where you're going to be grateful for everything and everybody else, and that's going to bring more abundance in your life. One of the things that was very powerful for both Abram and I that we learned in the coaching modality that we studied was that gratitude cannot exist in the same place where there's judgment, And where there's judgment, there can be no gratitude. You can't have both together. You can't be judging somebody.
Or criticizing.
Criticizing is just a form of judgment.
Yes.
You can't be judging somebody and be grateful for them at the same time. You can't be sneering behind their back, sneering behind their back or snorting like our dog is doing right now. You can't be snorting or sneering behind their back and then being like, oh, thanks, I'm so grateful for you.
Yep.
You can't be like, I don't know if I should listen to Abram and Nikki because they've only made $250,000 where so-and-so has made $800,000. Hey, Abram and Nikki, do you have any advice for my blog? That person is not going to be able to receive the advice because they're in judgment and they're not grateful.
Yeah. So we want to give you something pretty awesome tonight.
Yes.
We went through all the questionnaires. The questionnaires, again, they weren't for us as much as they were for you.
Yes.
Some people acted as if it was like a test and that you had to like pass the test and give the right answer. And it's like, well, it was actually a test for you to see where you're at.
Where you're at for your business.
For your business.
And yeah, it was a test. I mean, let's be real. I mean, there were certain kind of people, based on their answers, we weren't going to let into the group.
Well, let's not talk about them. Let's talk about the people that are here.
Okay.
Because that's what's really important.
Okay.
I don't want us to go down the rabbit hole.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't want anybody to be confused that we're not grateful for what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We're giving you permission also, if you've been aware of some of the weird stuff from your former teammates, to be willing to just like let that stuff go right now.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't know what it was, maybe you're becoming more aware of what it is now. But just like drop it and like let's move forward together.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna speak very, I think the word is candidly with you tonight, right?
Yes.
Which means just straightforward, honest, no buffers, no barriers, and give you the feedback that you really need to hear. Okay, going through the questionnaire, there were some of you that have goals and targets that were extremely unrealistic with either where you're at or what you think is required in order to get there.
Yes.
Okay, and so most of you did a really, really great job of identifying why you're actually here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you need to have a reason why you're here that gets you motivated to build the business even when you don't feel like it, right? So
because you're not going to feel like it every day.
True.
And I want to say something about motivation from the Motivation Manifesto, but I'll say that till later.
Sure. Okay. So I forgot what I was going to say now. So recently, like Nikki and I have been really inspired with some of their projects. There were a lot of things I wanted to do instead of the project, but like go see the Hobbit movie, right? But what's more important to me is what we're working on right now and why we're working on what we're working on right now, including you and this new tribe, okay? And that's what had me up till 3:30 in the morning the other night, and then up again at like 7:30, something like that. And for me, that's like no sleep. And being able to do that multiple times over the last week or so, putting some things together, my reason why for doing that is so strong that even when I don't feel like it, or I'm feeling drained, or I want to just check out and go do something else, I continue to put the work in.
You remember your why.
I remember my why. And many of you nailed it, right? Some of you, I think, could dig a little bit deeper and find more you don't have to have just one reason why, right? You might have a million reasons why, and that million reasons is going to make you a million times stronger when challenges and stuff come up. So y'all got your why figured out, or you're working on it, okay? And that's going to keep you moving forward. A lot of you also have done a great job of painting your ideal future. Nikki asked the question in that questionnaire, I think it's like the last question.
Wait. Hold on. Don't say that part yet.
I'm not going to reveal too much.
Okay.
What I was going to say is that many of you on that last question revealed things that you would love to do, right? So you have your reason why you're doing it. You have your reason for stuff that you're going towards. Okay, that's great. It's the stuff in between and the pathway to achieving those goals is the stuff that I know many of you require assistance with, because it's a sure fact that the reason that we've been so successful in this business, looking at the questionnaire and the answers that came in, the reason and the main difference between our success and what you've been able to experience so far is the clarity. Okay? It's the clarity and being able to match our actions up exactly with what's required in order to create the desired outcomes.
So who is actually I'm just going to say, I'm going to ask the question. I have one question in mind, but I'm asking everyone to participate right now. Who is aware that maybe, who on this hangout is aware that maybe you don't have total clarity of the how? You have your why, you have your aspiration, but you're like not totally clear.
You're like, I haven't made money, I haven't sponsored anybody, or I have sponsored like a couple people.
I think I need this many leads, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't
Let
really,
us know in the comments below.
I don't really know how many leads I need to get or how many people I need to sponsor in order to get $3,000 a month income.
Yeah.
Let us know if you when you were answering that out realized perhaps that you didn't know what you really needed to know.
Maybe you just put in a number because you're like, I think maybe around this.
Yeah.
I love that Charlotte says the survey was a good review of where I'm at, especially after my sticky break. Very thought-provoking of who I am and where I'm going. That's what we wanted it to be. Like seriously, it was really. Yeah, of course it was a filter. You guys all made it. Obviously, you made it. But it was still more for each person. It was more for you guys to really get in tune and ask yourself, be able to run through those questions from within yourself. And at least know, oh gosh, you know, I haven't even thought about my why in a long time. Maybe that was the case for you, or like, you know, one of the things that I was extremely curious about was what is a vision that you have for the team, you know, because this was just a great opportunity for us because we don't have the time to go talk to 200 people, 400 people, and ask each one of them what their vision is. So creating a survey like that, I think, was just really perfect. And the other reason that we created it for you, as well as asking you to create your video to go into the Facebook group, is so that you have something to instruct your new members to do. So from now on, we're asking that when you get your sales and you get people coming in, that you ask them to make a video just like you did. Their first video. And this was something that we got from Rhonda Swan, the Unstoppable Tribe. They're doing amazing things. And so what they do is when everybody has a new member, and it's a cultural thing. It's not just Rhonda reminding people. She has done this with her core group of people. They started to implement this. And so every new person that comes in, what's your why video? Why are you doing this? When are you going to get all in? I need a date. The exact dates. When are you going to get all in? And you're clear with that. Is it your why and all in? Is there something else?
Your why.
Yeah. When
you're going to be all in. Your 90-day targets.
That's right. So your why. When you're going to get all in, your 90-day targets, and you're going to want to write that down too. So, you know, write down those things too for yourself, so that you have it somewhere on a sticky note or by your computer, so that you don't forget. Because it's easy to make yourself forget. I know this personally. I can be a spacey person, and I've made goals, and then I'm like, wait, what was that? What was that? You know? So remind yourself. And, you know, I think it's just a fantastic thing. People are, because of what Rhonda created, it's increased people's upsells and upgrades, and it's also created this amazing energy in the tribe. Because when people do this video, for a lot of them, it's going to be their first video they've ever done. So it's a safe place. It's in the tribe. We're going to have, as we grow, we've got hundreds of people, thousands of people in the tribe. We're going to have people going, you know, one person posts their video, and then we've got 40 people going, oh my God,
welcome,
like, we support you.
Congratulations,
welcome.
Excited for you.
So we're asking everybody to be that too, and be cheerleaders for other people, for each other. That's you know, one of the reasons that we asked you to do the video, because you can't really teach somebody the same way or like get what goes into something unless you do it yourself. And for a few of you, you didn't even know how to upload a video into Facebook. And I'm not saying
you learned something new, didn't you?
And I'm not saying that in a mocking way, like you didn't even know that, but it's like, no, it's like you haven't done that before. You haven't done that before. One of the feedbacks that I did want to give, can I just do this since we're on the topic of the videos? A couple of you were like, I don't know if this is working. I think, here we go. This might be a crappy video, but here we go. And I'm telling you, if you're doing that in our tribe, you are spreading that energy in your marketing, and it's just not very attractive. To put it candidly, as Abram would say, it doesn't pull people in. It makes people feel sorry for you before they even click on the play button. And I know our tribe is cool. Everybody wants to be supportive. They're going to root you on anyway, but that's not going to work in your marketing. So you don't need to say why a person like shouldn't watch it or apologize for yourself or they should forgive you or forgive me for making mistakes and this is probably crappy and this probably didn't upload right. Those are not things you want to say in your marketing. So that's just one thing I want to say moving forward. And again, you're going to become an example for your members. So that's all I want to say about the videos.
I think the other reason that's a great thing that we're doing together as a tribe and building in the culture is because you get to put a face to the name. Because a lot of people actually spend their time hiding behind their computer and the little icon that they have on Facebook, which is their face, and their name. And this forces you to get out of your shell and show your face, and your new members also to share a bit about them so that other people can get to know them too, right? Because when we all come together at events, it's going to be nice to know that, Johnny, the new member this week, was his mom was diagnosed with cancer or something like that. That's why that's his why, and maybe you're able to come to Johnny and say, hey, I'm here for you, man. My parents went through this too, or whatever. Like, it creates this awesome little bond with people. So let's get into like the training.
Yeah, and is there anything else you wanted to? Well, yeah, Brandy said she admitted it that she's not totally clear.
Okay.
And you need to give Brandy a shout out for doing all these surveys.
Yep.
I just want to say thank you for the people who submitted right away and respected Brandy's time because she was the one contacting everybody. We went through the surveys. Who are the immediate yeses? Who feels right? Who needs maybe just to make a tweak? And again, those tweaks are not because we need them. It's because you need them.
Yeah.
It's because you need them.
Thank you, Brandy.
Yes.
Seriously, because I cannot imagine the amount of time that she put in to doing this.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
For you. So
for the greater good, for the team, and that's actually what being part of the team is about. That's what being part of the tribal council is about. Any one of you could become part of the tribal council. It is working for the greater cause of the vision. It is setting aside, me, myself, and I, and stepping into more of a we consciousness. So Brandy, we're just really grateful that everything that you've been doing, alongside with everything else you got going on. That's the thing. So and another possibility, we might tweak some stuff, but how would you guys like to have that survey to give? And maybe we'll tweak a couple things.
We'll have to tweak some things.
Tweak some things.
Yeah.
But that kind of survey for your new members.
Because how many of you have felt a little bit awkward or weird when your new members come in and you don't know what to do with them? Right? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to send them a series of questions and know what to look for in order to bring them into the tribe, in order to help you get more upsells, in order to help that brand new person get started in a way that matches up with where they say that they want to go.
Look at it this way. So, like Abram just said, some of you might feel awkward. I have noticed that is one of the biggest sabotage patterns for you. To be honest, like in our time of doing this business, is a lot of people are like, I almost don't want to get a member because I don't even know what I will do with them once they come in. And I will feel really stupid because I'm not a coach. I'm not an marketing expert. I don't know what to coach them. What if they ask me a bunch of questions? There's all this kind of stuff that people go through. So, we would like to assist and empower on that level as much as possible. So imagine if you had this survey, and what if your entire session is just connecting with them and repeating back to them what they said? Like, okay, so I hear your why is this. Is that correct? Is that, and then they might tell you more. And they might cry, they might get more deeply into it. We've got to mute something.
I don't know why this went off. That's weird. Okay. No, we're good now. All right.
Yeah, so what if you're just, and then you're repeating back to them their targets about when they want to get all in, or there's different ways that you can do it, but you'll have this guide, and then you tell them how, okay, so, can you commit to what we're asking in order to be in the tribe? What we're asking is that each person makes a video when they come in. Is this your first video? Yes, no, okay. Well, can you make this video? And get that yes from them. Get them to commit to it. So, and that, you could spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes even just explaining that part, depending on how it goes, you know what I mean? So,
we'll figure some of this stuff out as we go.
We'll figure some of this stuff out as we go, but I'm just saying that you guys don't have to be afraid. You guys don't have to be afraid of, like, new member coachings.
Yeah.
You really don't. And if you do like what we suggest, then it'll be easy breezy. And guess what? It's people, so you're always going to have somebody that every once in a while you get somebody that's like, I don't even know why. I'm very skeptical, just to let you know. Especially when you're first starting out, you just be brave and let's be honest. I think as you keep going, your belief increases. So at first you might attract some people who are a little bit more questioning of you, And so don't be surprised by that. It has nothing to really do with you. It's nothing personal. It's like where they're at, and maybe you're sort of, you might be like attracting that type of person, but that doesn't mean that like you're doing something wrong.
The first 10 to 20 sessions that I did were really weird. I'll be honest.
And they were weird, man.
Still get some,
I would listen in the other room.
And then we still get some weird stuff too. And about a month and a half ago we had a new member that never made it into the Facebook group because she was a total nutball, and she was like this crazy pity party on the telephone. And when confronted with, some of her own stuff and the reality of, her targets not matching with what she wanted, what she said she could do and would do, and et cetera, she started losing it. And we had to hang up. We had to hang up on her.
Yeah.
That's
she started losing it.
That's the short version of it.
And actually, one of them was like, was this the one you're talking about? That she was our friend, kind of like she had an art gallery, and then
that one was interesting too.
She was flipping out about some of the terms and whatever, and that was. But okay, this one, no, Abram, this one's really good. I have to tell you guys. Let me know if you want to hear the absolute weirdest new member coaching call I had. The absolute weirdest. I think it'll be entertaining.
And we'll address that at the end of the training tonight.
Yeah, the absolute weird. Like, you probably can't get weirder than this.
Okay.
But just an example of how weird it can get. It's actually funny and entertaining.
I am wondering which one it is because we have had quite a few weird ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to keep this training literally to an hour.
Okay.
So that's why I'm a little bit like.
Okay. So I do want to. Because I want to reward people when they're like engaging and stuff.
Yes.
So Jazz is saying these are golden nuggets. Setting up a reminder is key for me. One of the things that I do is put in my phone daily reminders, so that every day I get like a text to myself of what I want to remember. And then Sam says, Brandy, you're a rock star. You're awesome. I love what Tana J says. She says, I'm so excited for creating this tribe safe space. One of my favorite places in the world was this open mic that was like Soul Church, where people got to share their voice and be celebrated, and this is feeling like that, and I love it. So much more than marketing. Yes, Tana J, I love that. Thank you. And we adore you. We totally do. Okay, so going back to really like what we really wanted to make sure that everybody got, and this is the most important part to pay attention to, like, because some of you have been to events and some of this information has been repeated, but maybe you haven't been ready to hear it yet. And maybe today's the day when you're finally ready to hear it. You're finally ready to hear it. Maybe you didn't hear it from when Dave Wood said it, or anybody on stage, or an Empower call, but today is the day. And I think that by showing you on the whiteboard, we're bringing out the math and the numbers.
And some of you check out
Exactly.
when the math and numbers come up.
I used to check out a lot with the math and the numbers when I wasn't ready to make money. You know, I just kind of, my eyes would, you'd say like the word bank and my eyes would glaze over. So if you're ready to choose money, just choose it. Just say yes to it right now. And to make money with this business, like fully go, okay, yes. All right, I'm going to do this. And then you will hear what Abram's going to share much differently than you ever have before. And maybe you have it before, I don't want to assume.
Yep.
But it's going to be a much different experience.
So you guys ready to learn the numbers that actually build your business, right? I would like for you to be able to come away from this hangout knowing what numbers you need at a minimum and having a clear expectation of what's really required to build the business. And I think when you get this, like you'll realize why certain things haven't been working so far. One of the books that I read that changed my paradigm in terms of creating results was the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. And one of the parts of this book is Grant preaches about is knowing the exact amount of effort and energy and action to take in order to create your goals, right? What we discovered in the questionnaire was that a lot of people, I think, actually just really didn't have any idea, so you put numbers down, which is fine because this training is just going to be really eye-opening for you. And then some of you have been in for a while and your expectations are skewed for whatever reason about what it takes to build your business, right? So this is the kind of thing where you think that you know it's going to take 10 people to visit your sales video every day to get a sale, for example. What if the reality is that 100 people have to visit your video to get a sale? Mm-hmm. Well, that's a very, and I'm not saying that's the reality. What I am saying is that that's a very different idea, right? If your idea is 1 out of 10, but the reality is 1 out of 100, would that not make sense why you've been feeling a little discouraged when you're not getting results? Or every time you get 10 and nobody signs up, you're like, what is going on, right? Because what your expectations aren't in tune with what the reality is, and also perhaps the amount of action that's required is not also in tune with the reality of what's required. So I want to break down a few things on the whiteboard for you so you can see it, because I know that many of you are visual learners, just like Nikki and I are visual learners. And this will be our opportunity to kind of jump in and ask some questions. Stay very present, right? So if you've got a phone and stuff, turn that off. Get off of Facebook. Get off of Facebook right now. Please just be here for this, because this is I know what a lot of you need based off the questionnaire. So without further ado, let's jump over and switch over the camera, and then we'll start hitting some basic fundamentals that you really need to understand in order to get this.
Hey, Abram, the surveys, I can't access it. I can't remember the password. Hey, Brandy, can you send me the password of the survey? I'm on Abram's computer, and I can't. I forgot it.
We may. I don't know, because I have to stand in between here, between the light and the whiteboard. Okay. So we might have to flip that one around.
Oh, really?
Maybe. I don't know.
Meaning the lighting is not enough? Is that what you're concerned about?
I feel like the lighting's not enough. If it's not enough, let us know, guys.
Yeah, if it's dark.
Okay, so if you want to, I know why you want to pull up the surveys, because we're going to work with some examples here, right? Okay, so for example, somebody submitted their survey and they said that they want to sponsor 2 members per day. Okay, so they want 2 members per day. Okay, and then when they were asked how many leads per day to get that, they said they were going to get 3 leads per day. Okay, so this is living in a fantasy world. All right. Again, we said we're going to speak candidly with you tonight because we don't have time to run around and sugarcoat stuff, okay? This is called fantasy world, right? Assuming that 2 out of every 3 people that visit your capture page and watch your video, or visit your blog and watch the sales video, are going to eventually buy, is living in a fantasy world, okay? That's what a fantasy world is. Okay. I want to back up for just one more second here, and then we'll get into some of these numbers. I know, Nikki, you're pulling some stuff up right now.
Yeah, I got the password.
Okay. So here's something that's important to get.
Oh, why is it blurry? It's like fully blurry.
Is it the focus?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? It's trying to focus on me in different ways.
Yeah.
So I got to stay back here. You can listen to my voice. You can't see my beautiful face, but you can see the board. So the first ingredient that you need always is traffic. Okay. Traffic is actually the easiest part to get. Why? Because there's a lot of training on it inside the Empower Network products. We'll come back to this later. But you need traffic. That's people visiting your capture pages, right? The place where they put in their emails. With Empower Network, you automatically get a capture page, which you can go in your back office and you can go find it, right? If you don't know where that is, it means you haven't spent enough time in your back office exploring stuff, right? So you need people visiting the capture pages, whether they're Empower Network capture pages or ones that you've built, okay, right? And these people, some opt in, they give you your email, and they become leads, right? So traffic turns into leads, turns into sales, okay? That's the flow, right? I want to share with you something really, really interesting. I don't know how the numbers are going to break down when I do this, but if you have, let's say, 500 people visit your capture page, how many of these people are going to actually opt in and give you their email? How many? Well, it depends on your conversion rate. Meaning some people are going to see the capture page and they're going to go, yes, I want to know more info. They're going to put their email. Some will say no and they'll go away. Okay? But what I want you to get, okay, is that let's say 40% of these people end up putting in their email address. Okay? I'm going to show you why this is important to know. And I know some of you have seen this before, but you're going to learn something new. I'm going to just replace where it said capture page. I'm going to say traffic turns into leads, turns into sales. Remember, leads are people that give you their email. 500 people, 40% of those people decide to put their email in. What's 40% of 500? It's 200 people, right? It's 200 people. Okay? Notice the difference between this number and this number, right?
One is less than.
This is a pretty sizable difference, and this one is less than this original one. Okay? Of these 200 people, how many are going to convert into sales? Now, this is a good question.
So now that those people, the
Now,
200 people are on your email
list,
right?
how many are going to convert into sales? Well, there are a ton of different factors that determine this number, right? Depends on the email follow-ups. It depends on what sort of content you're sending them. It depends on a lot of factors, right?
There's the saying, the fortune is in the follow-up.
Correct. And that's a saying for a really important reason, right? Now, if you go across the entire company-wide data of the number of people viewing the sales video by David Wood, okay, that end up buying after watching it, okay, that number is between 1 and 2%, okay? That includes people that have come back and visited and watched the video multiple times, okay? So what that means is that, okay, if you did almost nothing,
But just got the people.
but just got these leads, okay, 500 people visited your website, 200 turned into leads. Of that, if you did almost nothing, you'd probably get 2 signups. Okay? Now, I don't want you to freak out for a second because these are big numbers, but what I'm painting for you is that many of you, if you actually just started thinking a little bit bigger, you would start having bigger results automatically. Okay? So this is the example of some pretty low converting stuff. You can actually do this far, far better. I'll give you the example of what Nikki and I were able to do when we first got started, okay, right? So that it can help you better paint a picture for where you should go. And by the time that we're done here, we're going to give you numbers to start with, that once you have the numbers, you can start making adjustments and improve upon those numbers. Okay? So let me show you this. Okay? When Nikki and I first got started, we had a lot of people that knew us pretty well on Facebook. Okay? And I don't know, we weren't even tracking this stuff back then because we didn't know that we should be. We don't even know how much traffic we were getting to go to our capture pages. We don't even know. But what we do know is that for every, shoot, man, when we first got started, it was every, I don't know, between 8 and 11 leads, we would get one sale, right? One person buying the basic blogging membership of the Power Network. By the way, when you're marketing Power Network, you're not marketing all of the products, right? You're marketing the blogging system. That's the front end. It's $25, right? It's super easy to sell because it's a low ticket item that has a lot of utility to it, right? And then the other sales for the upsells happen on the back end, right? We can help you with that stuff, but you need to focus on this front end first, so that way Nikki and I and the rest of your tribe members can coach you on how to get the upsells on the other end. So I want to keep this simple and focus on just the blogging membership. This is what we're talking about. When we talk about sales, we're talking about making a sale on the blogging membership. Do you have a question?
Well, aren't our numbers kind of exceptional? I don't want people to get the wrong idea.
I'm painting two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Okay, all right.
Right? As we've progressed and we've branched out and done like a little bit of paid traffic, we've experimented with other networks and stuff, this number is actually more, it's actually more like, I don't know, probably 13 to 16 leads in order to get the sale. Okay? Write this down. Okay? Leads that come from blogging, from videos, and from social media are worth like 10 times more, typically, than leads that you get from paid marketing.
Cold traffic.
Cold traffic, okay? So I'll say it again, write this down. The value of a lead that you get from blogging, videos, and social media is worth about 10 times as much as paid marketing. Okay? So when you're doing paid marketing, typically you have to get more leads in order to get your sale, right? The reason our numbers are so exceptional is because we've gotten really good at a lot of the free stuff, right? And these people are closer with us automatically by the time that they even opt in the first place. Zeus, stay. Good boy. All right. Okay, so I just painted you two opposite ends of the spectrum. The first one was probably what a lot of paid traffic looks like. You know, you get 500 visitors and 200 people opt in, and then you get like 2 sales, right? That's a good, realistic expectation of what it's going to take with paid advertising. So that could be Facebook PPC, it could be YouTube PPC, it could be solo ad traffic, right? A lot of this stuff, not all of it, is covered inside the 15K formula, okay? You have the products for a lot of this training. We'll get into some of this stuff at the end of tonight and where you can go to get the training, okay? Traffic,
And we also have
leads,
a bonus.
Sales. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so traffic, leads, sales. You've got some of the surveys up.
Yeah.
So let's look at what some of the examples were.
Yeah.
And I want to help you find out what is truly you know, going to work based off of this formula, okay? And really quickly, you know, one of the things that David Wood has been preaching to us since the beginning was, you know, he's always said 2 members a day, 30 leads per day, right? 30 leads per day, okay? If you haven't gotten to 10 leads per day yet, make that your first target, okay? 10 leads per day, 10 people opting and asking for more information about your business, okay? Once you do that, make 30 your next target. 30 is like the magic number, okay? And with the new Kalatu blogging system, it's totally possible, okay? Once you do that, that's when you start opening it up. And you're like, you know what, I'm going to do 100 leads per day. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
So if you guys heard what Abram said, write 30 leads in the comments below. Just write 30 leads.
Per day.
30 leads per day. 30 leads per day.
Write 30 leads per day in the comment section. Write 30 leads per day.
Okay, so I will give priority to people who are actually participating as far as looking at their survey.
Great.
But I do have one. I don't know whether this person is here or not. I just think they're a pretty good example.
And we're going to keep you anonymous.
Yeah, we're going to keep you anonymous. We're not going to like call out your name. Okay, so this person said they want to make $15,000 within the 90 days.
Okay, so they want to make $5,000 a month.
They said they want to make $7,500 a month.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Keep going.
They said they want to have 5 leads a day, 1 member per day. So they're expecting to get 1 a day with 5 leads. And then they've been on and off with the Inner Circle. They own the blogging, the Costa Rica, the 15K, but they don't own the master's course.
Okay.
And they also want to achieve this with working 12 hours per week.
Okay. So 12 hours, so it's about...
Because that's the other thing that I think people were unclear about.
It's roughly 2 hours a day.
6 days a week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna write that down. But
okay.
We know what it is because we're here together, right? And then they don't own the masters. I'll just put no masters. Okay. Okay. So 5 leads per day, 1 member per day, working 2 hours per day, 6 days a week. Okay? To get to here. Because we know this person, we know that they haven't sponsored that many people yet. Okay? And there's something that has to happen in your business. I want to get this part out of the way, and it'll feed into everything else that we do. When you're first starting your business, you're just like an airplane taking off the runway. Most of the energy to get your business going is exerted on takeoff. Huge percentage of the fuel is burned on takeoff. Okay? So 2 hours per day is probably going to work to maintain a $7,500 income, but in the beginning, it might be a month or 2 where you're actually working more like 4 hours per day for like a month or 2
of
income producing activities. What does that mean? That means blogging. That means writing emails to your list. That means anything that involves directly getting traffic to your capture pages.
And your blogs.
And your blogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are all income producing activities. Doing your accounting is not an income producing activity.
Watching a training
video is not an income producing activity.
Reading
a book is not an income producing activity.
Yeah. It is indirectly.
Let's not even confuse people.
Okay, we won't confuse people. So it's not an income.
It's totally separate.
Okay, it's separate.
It's investing in yourself.
Gotcha.
So that when you do your income producing activities, you're more confident, you're more solid, your time is even better spent.
Okay, I like that distinction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So income producing activities are everything that generates directly sales and leads and traffic for your business.
It's your marketing, and marketing, you guys, I actually looked up the definition the other day, it's just the methodology, it's the how you bring your product or service to the marketplace, which is to a specific audience in order to sell. And sell actually means, from sell on, it means to give.
So you got to be out there giving people a reason to opt in, right? And when they opt in, they'll be given a reason to participate. Okay? So 2 hours a day, that might work later. Initially, it's probably going to take more because you need to get this plane off the ground. Okay? Because you're going to be going through a big learning curve. All right? If you want 1 member per day and you want $7,500 a month, you have to get real with what it's probably going to take coming from almost a stop start. Okay? Second thing we'll address. Okay? 5 leads to 1 member ain't going to happen. Okay? Not initially. All right?
Because you're not Jesus.
Because you're not Jesus yet.
Yeah.
Okay? What I think would be more realistic.
Not even Dave Wood gets that.
Correct. What I think would be even more realistic, okay, is probably when you're first getting started, 20 to 30 leads per day will get you 1 member per day, right? So in this example, if you did 30 leads a week, maybe you get 1 member per week, which would be a really great start for some of you, okay? So they're starting to get some clarity here, right? If you've been thinking that 5 leads a day is all that you're going to need to get 1 member per day, and now you realize you've got to shoot a bit higher to do that, does that not help you dramatically in achieving your results? Even if you're thinking to yourself, well, how am I going to do that? That's not the question yet. You have to start with the clarity of the fact that you're going to need more than that to get this. Okay?
And Abram, I think some people hesitate to make that goal of the bit more leads because they don't believe that they can do it, so they're just going to sell themselves short and say, I'll just get 2 leads a day because I think I can do that.
And guess what? You're going to get 5 leads a day, 10 leads a day, 15 leads a day, 20 leads per day on your way to 30 leads per day. You're just trying to get here.
30 leads a day.
Okay?
Yeah.
Everything in between is a victory. Okay? Everything in between is a victory. I think it's a crazy statistic, over 90% of people can't even generate a single lead. So if you have generated a lead, pat yourself on the back. Okay? If you haven't, there's a good chance you haven't taken action enough to actually get the lead. Okay? The last part I'm going to address on this one is the fact that this person does not own the master's course. Okay? So here's what this means. This means that, as it is, they can earn $15 a month on the blog. Okay? I'm sorry, $17.50. Since they went to 70% commissions, I'm all confused. So $17.50, okay? Put this big period here. $70 on the inner circle. $350 on the Costa Rica. And then $700 on the 15K formula. I'll take these zeros off the end because it might be hard for people to see anyway. Okay. If you total these numbers up, okay, you total these numbers up, 700 plus 350 plus 70 plus 17, it's like 1,100-ish, right? Okay, 1,100-ish goes into 7,500 how many times? About 7, right? About 7. Why is that number significant? Because at an absolute minimum, you'd have to sponsor 7 people per month that bought everything. Right? This is assuming that they buy everything to get you to the $7,500 a month target. I want you to watch closely about what happens when I show you the next number. Okay? This person does not have the master's product. They're not able to sell it and collect commissions. Okay? Right? They don't have the skill sets that are inside the masters to make master's level commissions. Okay? So this person is missing out completely on a $2,400 and I think it's $2,450. A $2,450 commission on every single person that they sponsor. Okay? Let me show you what just happened. Now instead of this 1,100 number, this number now, the maximum you can earn on a new person, right, coming in and buying all the products, is roughly 3,500-ish, right? See that? You add all these numbers up, and it's around 3,500. Okay. This number 7.
It's more than 30.
Well, if somebody has a calculator, you can add these up.
2450 plus 1700 is.
It's not plus 1700. It's plus 700.
Oh, okay. Oops,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now, when you do have the master's course and you have everything, you're all in, right? You own the blog, you own the Inner Circle, you own the Costa Rica Intensive, you own the 15K formula, you own the master's course, right? You can earn roughly this much per person that joins your business.
Plus there's pass-ups.
And we won't even get into that, right? So now, instead of needing to sponsor 7 people per month to get your $7,500 goal, you only need 2. That's like 3.5 times easier to do. 3.5 times less effort, right? Same effort, way more money, right? Same effort, way more money. Okay? So I want to do a few more examples here, and I think people will start getting the idea of what it takes to really build this, right? So this person who wants to earn $7,500 a month that does not have the master's is making their life literally 3.5 times more difficult to reach their income targets.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were them, I would just get the master's course and start making your life a lot easier. Okay? Because when people know that you own the master's, they can feel it energetically, a different type of person starts to join your business. That's been our personal experience. Okay?
So, Abram, I noticed a lot of people that, well, not a lot, but a few people that had, like, their intention to get the master, so they had similar goals and stuff, where they want these big numbers, they want 10 grand they want 15 grand by the end of 9 days, but they don't have the masters. Some of them don't even have the 15K, and their goals to get, their dates are like June of 2015.
Right.
And I wonder if that's because they don't believe that they can really do this or come up with the money. And I'm saying that I'm thinking that if you get clear on what you actually need, the numbers that you need, it's so much easier to commit and say, I'm gonna do this.
Right.
You're like, what you're sharing is making it easier for people to get clarity on that aspect as well.
Yeah, I mean, there was somebody that said that they want to earn $30,000 a month, and they only have access to the blogging system and the Inner Circle, which means that they're only able to collect $87 per customer. So I'm going to do something really quickly here. $30,000 per month divided by $87.50. This will tell you how many people they have to sponsor. Let me show you this, okay? Let me show you this. This is going to make some of you shit your pants. Okay, 30,000 divided by 87.5. Okay, this person would have to sponsor 342, we'll round up, 343 people to get $30,000 a month when they only own these 2 products. Put this in perspective for you.
Oh, I found that one.
We've sponsored about 250 people in our business in 2 years. Okay? Doesn't mean that you're not capable of sponsoring 343 people, but it just means that there's no way in hell. And if you're going to sponsor 343 people, you deserve to be positioned to earn more commissions, right? So I want you to look at this too. So this is simple math. And then, is there another example that we can go to?
Yeah.
For somebody that's probably here.
Yes.
Okay. So
okay.
I want to draw this one out really quickly though. Okay. So I want to look at the amount that you can earn on a single customer when you're all in. Okay? The amount that you can earn on a single customer when you're all in is $35.87. Okay? So if this same person wants to earn $30,000 per month, okay, I should have left that number here, right? We had to sponsor 343 people. This person wants to earn $30,000 per month. In their position, they're all in, they can earn all the commissions that they deserve. Okay?
I will do calculations if you want, Abram. I've got the calc.
Okay. Maybe on some of the, on like the next one.
Okay.
This person actually only needs to sponsor at an absolute minimum. I'll just round down. Okay? I don't need decimals. 8 people.
Versus
343. That is a huge difference, right? Now imagine if you sponsored that 343 people and you were positioned at Masters.
now we're not including pass ups. That's the only thing, Abram.
That's too complicated. This is for the sake of just dreamcasting roughly where you need to be.
And
This is gonna
giving
put
you a
lot of
difference. Yeah.
way closer to where you have been thinking that you should be. If this person was all in and they sponsored 343 people, they could earn $1 million plus. Same effort, just positioned better with all the products.
So again, if they're not positioned, how much are they going to make?
So if this person that wants to earn $30,000 a month only owns the blog and the inner circle, they will have to sponsor 343 people total.
To make
$30,000 a month. Okay.
which is like $300 something thousand a year, if you were to do that in a year.
Sure. Okay. But we're just sticking with this basic number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That same person, if they were positioned at the master's course, would only have to sponsor 8 people per month. That's 2 per week to get to the $30,000 target. Now, not everybody's going to buy everything. You know that's the case, right? But I'm just showing you that it's a lot easier. Heck, wouldn't even if you added a 0 onto this, wouldn't 80 be a lot easier than 340?
Yep.
Way easier. Okay? Way easier. So let's look at another example.
Yes. Okay, so this person they just own the blog.
Oh, okay, so just on the blog.
And they have a goal to have the inner circle by the 1st of January. And then Costa Rica by the end of January, 15K by February, master's course by March. They want to work 12 hours a week. And then their total income goal within the 90 days is $5,000. They want a monthly income of $2,000.
Okay.
And leads per day, 2 to 4. And then they want 1 to 2 members a day.
$2,000 a month, 12 hours per week,
Yeah.
4 leads a day, is that what you said?
2 to 4.
2 to 4 leads per day. So this is coaching for all of you too, right? Because we're going through these anonymously, and they want, when's the end of their 90-day target?
What?
So they have a 90-day target of earning $5,000 total, and they want to be earning $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
When is that by?
Well, whenever we put out the survey is the 90 days.
So March, middle of March, right?
Yeah.
So mid-March. That's the other thing too, guys. Choose the date
And stick with
and
it.
stick with it instead of choosing the 90 days, because 90 days from now, tomorrow, is a different number.
Then what
than
fill out the
like
survey.
March 15th, right?
Right.
For example.
Right.
So pick a date. That's really important too. Okay. And then stick with it. So okay. Did I miss any other information? They want 1 to 2 members a day. Okay. Cool. So let's reverse engineer this from the bottom up. Okay. 1 to 2 members. Okay. Sorry, my mind's going a million miles a minute. 12 hours a week to make $2,000 a month. Doable. Only reason I say doable with the hand gestures is because this person is positioned right now at the blog, right? And then January 1st they want to be Inner Circle, Costa Rica by when?
January 25th.
January 25th.
15K by February 15th.
February 15th, and then Masters
March
by
1st.
March 1st. So that's a pretty good progression. I feel like if you were all in now, the 12 hours per week that you put in right now would energetically feel different and more powerful if you were all in now versus just here. But that's just my intuitive vibe, okay? 12 hours per week, you might be able to do 2K a month and do this and get this off the ground. So I think the hours per day, if you're very focused, totally doable, okay? If you did 1 to 2 members per day, it's going to take a lot more than 2 to 4 leads per day, okay?
30.
It's going to be, I'll do this example again, right? I should leave the original numbers up here and then change them with the blue marker. You're going to need to get this, okay, 20 to 30 leads per day.
Why not just make it 30?
Okay, we'll do.
Let's just keep it simple and just say 30 leads a day.
Just get there, okay? Yeah. Get there. All right.
And the other piece is because I want one number because there's a floatiness to it. 1 to 2 a day.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
You get specific.
30 leads a day.
30 leads per day. Okay. And one thing I will promise you, okay, is that if you get 1 new member a day and you're all in, you will have a $15,000 per month income at the end of 90 days. If you're getting 1 new member a day, you're all in, at the end of 90 days, if you're not getting $15,000 per month in income, David Wood will get on the phone and coach you, because you would be a mythical unicorn in terms of not actually creating that result, and he would want to know more about why you're not creating that result.
Yeah.
Okay? We sponsored 1 person per day for the first 120 days or something like that, and that got us our first $20,000 a month. Just as a perspective. Okay? So is that more clear? This person.
How do they get all in if they're like, I don't have the money, and they're trying to like make, what do you think about somebody that's like trying to make the money through the business and the lower tiered products to get the money to get all in?
Well, I'll tell you, when I was in college, I couldn't believe how easy it was to get a credit card. First thing. And I also couldn't believe how easy it is to come up with the money in creative ways. Great example of this is the fact that Nikki and I had a harebrained idea to do a Facebook training like 3 weeks ago. We've been talking about it for a while and didn't get serious about it until recently. And we had the idea, we put it into action, and we literally created thousands of dollars out of thin air. Okay? So all you require is some ideas and action in order to create the income.
You're not short of money, you're short of ideas.
That's correct. And if you really want to get all in, all you have to do is tap into your internal resources and find those things. If you're determined about it, you will get them.
And there is an Inner Circle audio now.
Yeah, there is an Inner Circle audio by Peter Sorensen. I think it's like How to Get Money, literally.
To get all in.
To get all in. Okay, he's got 2 audios in there. I think the second one of the 2 is more about the actual fundamentals of getting the money. And the first audio is about how to coach people to get money. Okay? So that's a resource for you if you're trying to get all in and you're like, I don't have the ideas. Peter has tons of ideas in that audio of how you come up with money. Okay? If you want it, you'll have it. Okay? This person who wants to earn $2,000 a month, $2,000 a month, you could do fairly easily at the 15K level, right? You would require like 3 or 4 sales a month, okay? If you were in the master's course, it would take 1 sale and you'd be there, right? It's just simple math, okay?
Yeah. So.
What about another example? Or
okay.
Is there some? Should we add some more clarity to this?
How's everybody feeling? Are you guys getting? Are you all getting clarity from this? Let us know in the comments. I'm gonna look at one more just to see. Well, we are a little bit past time, Abram. So.
Well, if we have one more example or something like that, well, I know we went further, but this is important. So.
Yeah.
I know we need to sort of wrap it up here the next 15 minutes.
Without getting too mathematical, would you say this one needs a slight adjustment? So, they're all in, 15, they're willing to work 15 to 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Total income within 90 days is 30,000, and they put it in like this sequential order. 5K the first month, 10K the second, 15K the third month.
Okay.
And they want 15,000 a month by the end of the 90 days.
Okay.
Their leads are 2 per day the first month, 6 per day the second month, 15 per day the third month.
Not happening.
Not happening.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who you are listening to this.
So yeah, so not happening. I can appreciate the scaling up idea. Okay. But the sequential thing, right? It was $5,000 your first month. They're already positioned to be all in. Okay. You're wanting 2 leads per day for the first month. That'd be like 60 leads to get to $5,000 a month. Probably not happening. Okay? Probably not happening. I think the person that wants to earn $5,000 a month, that's positioned that they're all in, would need to bring in at least 10 or 15 leads per day. So what do you get?
I just think just go for 30 leads a day. I keep going back to that.
Well, I know, but I'm painting the picture because there's somebody that goes, well, I actually just only want to earn $5,000 per month.
Gotcha.
They're like, I want to know if I'm all in.
But the reason, okay. So Abram and I are having it's not a total debate. It's just like I'm looking at what does it take to get enough like information about how well you're converting.
Okay, great.
You know what
question.
I'm saying? Because it's like if you're like, okay, well I only want this, so therefore I'm only going to get like 5 leads a day. That may even in 2 months you may not really create momentum. You're just sitting there in like a comfort zone.
Yes.
And you don't really. It's like not until you really like. Here's the other piece. Looking at the answers of the leads per day, it kind of it says something also about a mindset thing. It's like I'm protecting myself from really putting myself out there and getting my elbows dirty and putting my hands fully in and diving into this.
Right.
I'm sort of protecting myself from rejection or whatever you think is going to happen.
Maybe even of yourself.
By creating this really low number. Yeah, maybe of yourself. Because if you create these unreasonable expectations, what happens 6 months from now? You're down on yourself. And your faith and your belief in yourself goes down. So this is like an unconscious, I think this is almost like this has been a sabotage pattern for some of you. A sabotage pattern. For others, it's a comfort. And you know what comfort is. Comfort is like dying. You're not really going to experience the joy and exhilaration that you are and the potential you came here to be until you get really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, so I think these math equations are great. Abram, you're letting people know what they could do, possibly. Okay, here's what you need at least, 10 leads a day if you want to get one member a week. But really, you should be aiming for 30 leads a day for the next 90 days. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get 30 leads a day for 90 days in a row.
That'd be huge. Yep.
30 leads a day for 90 days in a row. Because you're going to get to know your marketing, because some people need 100 leads a day to convert one member.
Correct.
Because they're not willing to learn anything about email writing or anything like that.
I want to jump in on this because I think we can give people something in their heads.
Yeah.
That takes everything that you're just talking about. I believe it was Jim Rohn, who's like an epic network marketer from history, and he talks about the law of the numbers. And his example is this, right? So he comes from old school network marketing, and he says, okay, so you have a meeting in your home, and to get people in your opportunity, and you invite 10 people, and one person shows up. That's cool. Now you know what your starting number is, right? So you know that 1 out of 10, if you call 10 people, that's what's going to show up. So let's say you have a target. So you got your first person to show up at your meeting, and now you're like, okay, cool. It took 10 people to get that one person there. The next meeting that you have, you say, you know what? I'm going to get 10 people in this room. Now you know, because of what happened last time, you're going to need to call at least 100 different people to get people in that room, and you're going to always be constantly improving your skill sets so that you can increase that percentage, right? Because over time you might realize that, oh wow, out of the 10 people I invite, I can actually get 4 people to show up because I'm getting so much better at inviting people, right? Well, then you know that if you want to double that number, you invite 20. Is that making sense? So you need to, right now, do what Nikki says, which is aim for 30 leads per day. Get as many effing leads as you possibly can to generate your first sale.
So, Abram, I already know people are thinking, but how do I get the leads?
We'll get there. Just finish this thought. We're going to get there. Okay? Get as many leads as you possibly can. That you should be dreaming about leads. Okay? If you want to make this work. Okay? Get the leads. I don't care if you get your dog to put in their email address. That's a lead. Okay? Right? Get leads, right? Because when your first member comes through the system, right, and you generated your first, 80 leads, right? Mm-hmm. Now you have a number to work with. Now you know, okay, if I go out and get 80 more leads, mathematically, I'm destined to bring in at least one more member, and in between now and then, I'm going to get better at my skill sets so that I won't even have to get to 80 people to get a new member, right? 80 leads to get a new member.
Well, and you know what? I will be very transparent and say that we've had times where we've sort of, backed off our lead generation.
Sure.
And what happened was we're getting less of a lead flow, and we have, I don't know how else to explain it except that we have less sales going on because it's like there's not enough energy and oomph and momentum going in through our email funnel. It's like, I don't know how to say it, but it doesn't mean that, well, now, if we're doing 30 leads a day and we were getting 2 members a day, then suddenly you're like, yeah, I'll just go back to 5 leads. You're not necessarily going to get 2 members a day after those 30 leads that you get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How else can I explain that?
For the sake of confusing the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
It's like when
Well, I'm not trying to confuse
I know you're not, and I'm trying to clear, because I can hear people's thoughts. So it's like when it's Black Friday at Walmart, okay, and there's people piled up in front of the doors, when they open the doors, what happens? It's a stampede. Okay, people are running inside faster. There's more volume running through it. There's more chaos and more sales happening. Versus if there were 10 people waiting patiently outside of Walmart, right, and they opened the doors, and 10 came in, and then 10 more came in, and then 10 more came in, less chaos, less sales. People can feel that it's not busy, right? When people can feel that your business is hopping, they don't know what your numbers are, but they can feel it. They know that they need to buy, right? I think that's the best way to explain it is that the more flow that you have going, the more flow you have in your business anyway. So a trickle coming into your business over time is not going to produce the same amount as if that whole entire time happened in one day.
That's such a great, okay, that's a good metaphor. So it's like, if you're getting like 5 leads a day, 5 leads a day is like a half dried out creek, you know?
Yeah.
And things get stuck, there's a branch, the flow's not happening, you just have mud in there. There's still water, but it's not really flowing.
Yeah.
30 leads a day is not like Niagara Falls, but it's a nice flowing river.
Yes.
It's nice and flowing, it feels good. You know, it's not going to sweep you away, you're not going to drown. If you went into I'm thinking about the Boulder Creek, actually.
I think we're probably done with the whiteboard, right?
I think so.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of they call it the creek, but I see it more like a river. There's just certain times of year where it's like, it's just so nice. You can put your feet in. It feels really good. That's what 30 leads a day is like.
Yeah.
And when you've got that sort of 5 leads a day and it's like that slow trickle, when people come in, I don't know how. I just think that we're way more intuitive than we realize as a collective consciousness. They can feel.
Yep.
There's not much going on here, but I'll put my email in. You know. So you got to get to that 30 leads a day, 30 leads a day, 30 leads a day, so that you are flowing more energy through your business. Even if you decide that your income goals are not that big, you're still going to want those leads to get to know what's required for you to have the income that you want and get the income faster.
Yeah.
Get the income faster. Because even if you want $2,000 a month, by getting to 30 leads a day, you're going to get that $2,000 a month faster. Why stretch it out to be a year-long process or 6-month-long process?
Yeah, I mean, when we first got started, we got all in as quickly as possible, right? It actually did take us a month to get all in or something like that.
I thought it was like
3 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
3 weeks.
And by the time that month was done and we were finally all in, and we actually got our first all-in sale, we had generated like $3,500 that month. I believe it was our first month. And the next month after that, I think it was about $8,000 or $5,000 or something.
Now we had very warm, hot leads. That's one thing to. And
the only reason I share that is because we initially our target was to replace our income because we were earning about $3,000 a month when we started Empower. So in the first month we completely replaced our income, and it was like, oh, well. Okay, so what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
And we started, we said let's go big, and we started getting a better feel for what was possible with the actual business, right? And that made it much easier for us to scale our numbers up because we started getting familiar with the way that our business was flowing. Like we started to have a greater expectation of what kind of lead flow we were getting, what kind of sign-ups we were getting, what to expect on the upsells. Like you learn more about your numbers the more that you go into the business, and it's not to say that you get stuck on the number. It's to say that you have a benchmark to go against that you can always improve upon. Mm-hmm. So we're always asking for magic in our business to happen, and based off of the fact that we know that we can always do better than what we've done. Anything else?
Yeah. How do I get the leads?
How do you get the leads?
And some of you all have been trying to figure it out in your head. Like you think that you'll magically just know how to get leads.
Yeah. So this is the thing. The survey was also very revealing that even some people that are all in right now, I know that you haven't gone through the training.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you literally bought thousands of dollars worth of product and you haven't gone through the training, or you've gone through the training but you haven't even like made a video, or you haven't even like been like blogging hardly at all. You haven't like look at your Facebook profile and there's not
a lot of activity.
There's not a lot of activity. There's not nothing to be found. Like when we ask like, well, what's like the one thing that you're going to learn and master so that you can teach to the tribe? A lot of you said storytelling, story selling, and a lot of you that said that, a lot of you that said that haven't even sold anything, okay? Or what you've sold has been very, very minimal, okay?
Or no. I think the point. Wait.
Okay.
The point that you made when you talked about this, because it's not about whether or not you know the skill. It's are you willing to learn it and teach it in 90 days. The point that you made was that you want to teach story selling when you've been all in, you have the products, and you're not even putting yourself out there. We've never seen you make a video. You know what I'm saying? So what's going to change now between now and the 90 days? Like, you can't be a storyteller, story seller unless you're actually telling stories to people through your blogs, through video, especially. You can't. I mean, story selling is. I think it is a lot. Video is.
And I think that story selling is only possible as a generating tool for your business when you have visibility and lead flow. Right. Because if there's nobody to tell your story to, nobody can hear it. Nobody's going to buy from you anyway.
Yeah.
So I want you to focus really on lead generation strategies.
Yeah.
Okay? And you have basically 3 main areas that you can focus on for lead generation. And I want you to choose one of them based off of where you're at. Okay? For all of you who are creative as all heck, and you always got ideas, you like talking about different stuff all the time, I want you to focus on blogging or video blogging. Okay? Because at the end of 90 days, you're going to have stuff that's going to start ranking on the search engines, and you will start to get lead flow. Okay? Now, blogging and vlogging is not the fastest way to grow your business, but it is one of the most sustainable ways to grow your business. So inside of like the 15K formula, there's modules on blogging. There's modules on how to get your stuff out there, right? Many of you are asking, how do I get leads, and you are not willing to invest in the products. That's a problem, okay? Because if you're not investing in the products that teach you how to do this stuff, you're going to continue asking the same questions. And we're not going to teach stuff that's already inside the products. That's the other thing.
And, and here's the thing is that you have to make a decision. You have to really make a choice whether or not you are willing, like whether or not you're willing to really do what it takes. Because if you look at it from the standpoint of, you know, a doctor or a surgeon, would you be willing to go, let's say that, you know, you decide you want to be a doctor and you go into medical school, and, you know, in the first semester you're like, you know what, I think I just kind of like have an intuitive knack and I kind of know what's going on. I want to do surgery on people. Would you get a surgery from somebody who like came from that background? They're just like, you know what, I finished one semester, I'm good. Like, I know my shit. You would be like running out of the door if you could. If you were in a place to run out of the door, you wouldn't want to work with that doctor. And one of the things that the Lazy Millionaires really encourage their team to do, they tell this to everybody, is they're like, you have to decide to be a professional marketer to do this. Now, there's a caveat with that. I don't want you guys to think that that means that you're not other things. It's not in an exclusive way. It doesn't mean that you become an internet marketer and that's all that you are. You become a professional internet marketer and that's all that you are. Even if it's a stepping stone for you, like honestly for Abram and I, we are becoming professional marketers. so that we can market our own products. There are relationship products that I want to create and put out into the world. Books that I want to put out. Children's books that I want to put out. By learning this stuff, I am so much more empowered. I'm not waiting for somebody to discover my talent. I will be able to put my creative work out there in the way that I want to. So even if it's like a means to an end, you still have to decide to make that chunk that of your time, of your lifetime, that you're putting into this as in a sort of professional way. Like this is, if it was your job, would you be fired by now? So it's probably a yes. So don't rehire yourself unless you're truly ready to rehire yourself. And work and treat it like it's a business. So I know, I'm just sensing there's some people who have been maybe a little bit trepidatious to make that commitment because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want this to define me as all of who I am. Trust me, coming from where we've come from, I've come from a very mystical background. You know, Abram comes from working at his dad's dry cleaner. We both have had some very colorful, diverse experiences, and what embracing this platform has done for us is it's opened so many other doorways that just weren't possible. And guess what? Nobody's going to be able to come to me with some sort of marketing plan with some that's all flashy and like not know their shit and get away with it. I ain't never going to be scammed by some like marketing experts when I'm, putting something out there. I mean, knock on wood, crossing my fingers, but I'm pretty confident about that. When Abram and I hired people to do our Facebook ads, we leaked thousands of dollars because we weren't really paying that much attention to it. We're like, oh, they're experts. This was like over a year ago, and we knew how to write better copy than they did. But if you don't have any training, if you're not implementing any copywriting, you're not going to know how good you are. You're not even going to know how great and amazing you are.
And you're not going to know how good the people are that are working with you that you don't know if they're good or not.
And you don't know. This is what Eric Worre says about network marketing in general. I know we're in this sort of hybrid. Is that network marketing teaches you how to run a business. So obviously you're here because you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, and you have to know how to run a business. If you're going to be lazy and apathetic about this here, do you really think that you're going to be on fire somewhere else?
Right. So I want to finish that thought about choosing your traffic strategy, right? Because you're going to want to know how to teach this to other people.
Yeah.
Okay? And you're going to want to get so good that you actually are generating your lead targets through your traffic strategy. So we already talked about blogging and vlogging, okay? And building off what Nikki, if you're creative and stuff, and you just love creating all the time, and building off what Nikki said, you're taking it seriously in the sense of like this is like a business, like this is like a career in the sense that you want to become very proficient at it. If you want to get paid a professional salary, you have to become a professional, right? Mm-hmm. It's a professional skill. That's why a janitor can't do the job of a surgeon, right? That's why a surgeon gets paid a lot of money because they have different skills. They have skills that they spent years, even in thousands of dollars, obtaining, and years of experience. Okay, so that's the first thing. I think that's one of our favorite things is videos and blogs. Okay. The second thing that you can get really good at is actual paid marketing strategies. So if you don't know what different strategies you can choose from, guess what you can do? You can go to Google and you can search what are the best paid marketing strategies to get leads.
And make sure that the article is from 2013 or 2014.
Right?
Yeah.
But my whole point in saying that is, okay, so you see what's out there, and you go, you know what? I'm going to master solo ads. Or you know what? I'm going to master Facebook PPC. Okay? There's so much, there's both a combination of great material inside the Empower products and even free material on YouTube, but some of you don't know how to look. Okay? If you don't have the money, you've got to get good. You've got to get resourceful at finding the resources. Nikki's amazing at finding stuff on Google. She finds stuff on Google that I feel retarded that I can't find. And I'm like, Nikki, I can't find such and such. She's like, oh, let me, and she, I'm like, what did you search for to find that? And I was like, oh, wow, she's good, and she's gotten good at thinking about different ways to search for things to find the information that she needs. Okay.
Yeah. So if
you can't. Well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
But you can too.
Yeah.
Okay. You can get resourceful. Colleges are going out of business right now because Google is replacing people's thirst for knowledge and the ability to get it instantly. Okay. Use it as a resource. So if you are somebody that's a little bit strapped for time, but you have money, I would do paid advertising. Okay. I would do paid advertising if you don't really have the time, but you do have money to invest. Okay. And the third type of person, right, that you can become in the next 90 days, and I'm telling you to choose like one thing to get really good at, okay, maybe two, but more than that you're going to feel super scattered and just everywhere, okay, is social media, right? So you choose one of the websites that you enjoy spending time on. So whether it's Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, the one that you enjoy spending the most time on. This is good for people who love to be connectors and chatty with people and stuff, right? Use social media to build out networks to share your blogs, share your content, and generate leads through social media. Okay? We just so happen to be very good at, you all right?
Sorry.
You spaced. You already thinking about something?
No. I'm thinking about what you're saying and wanting to make sure we don't forget something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we actually got really good at Facebook and blogging. Those were our two like big things, right? Yeah. And so we built networks on Facebook, became friends with a lot of different people, different places, and then we shared our blogs, and that's what helped us generate our first $250,000 at the Power Network.
Yes.
Okay. So we chose two things, got really, really good at them. It's only now, 2 years later, that we're really starting to branch out, which is kind of crazy. That's what you can do too. So I want you to choose something and just know that you don't have to get married to it, but you have to do it long enough to find out whether or not you enjoy doing it and whether or not it will work after 90 days. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that I wanted to touch on before we close up here is first, we'll want to get some feedback and some questions from you to find out if there's anything that we missed. But Nikki and I are starting this 4-week Facebook class called the Facebook Wealth Code, and we want to give it to you if you're somebody that's not all in yet. So you're not all in yet, meaning you don't have all the products, including the master's course, right? So if the master's course is the last thing that you require to get all in, and you do it by this Saturday, we'll give you the Facebook Wealth Code class for free, right? So we wanted to give that as any sort of incentive for people that are like a little bit on the fence or looking to take 2015 to the next level.
We're wanting to use Facebook, but wanting that training and the guidance that we have, because there's so much stuff that some of you are on the webinars. I mean, we're doing stuff that we have never shared before,
Yeah, and so we wanted to kind of give a way that we could help you, help any of your downline members and stuff get upgrades and things like that, make the decision that's going to allow them to be powerful this coming year. We're already doing this class anyway, so we thought we would just give it away to people who are making the decision right now to get all in, who haven't gotten all in already, right? And that could be any of your teammates as well. Okay, so that's by this Saturday. That's available for anybody who wants to take advantage of that. Okay?
Cool. Yeah.
So any questions or feedback from you guys about tonight? Any clarity? Like, now would be a really great time to ask for some clarity if you didn't get it already. So while you're putting it in the comments below what sort of clarity or questions you're looking for right now, I just want to say thank you for being here. And really like, congratulations for being here, because you made a decision that a lot of people haven't been willing to make, which is a decision to choose you and choose for yourself, and choose to create something different now and in the coming years together, right? I feel so blessed and refreshed with the group that we have right now.
Blessed and refreshed.
Starting small and starting this intimate, I think, is going to create a really powerful energy as we move forward together. So I'm excited that you guys are here and a part of the journey. So Tanya J asked, what about all those of us who are already all in? So if you're already all in and you want our training, you're just going to have to pay for it. Okay. So that's how it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, we've given a lot of bonuses throughout the past couple of years, so
yep.
you know, yeah. It's good to hear your story. Charlotte says, it's good to hear your story knowing that our success doesn't happen overnight. It takes hard work, dedication, and loads of new knowledge. Cool. So she's happy that she's going to be learning a lot over the next year.
See, I also like Charlotte's response that she's excited about the learning, because that's literally how we started. We were excited about the learning, like, because when you're excited about the learning process, it doesn't matter what results you get. You're still happy about where you are, and you're going to stick with it for the long haul. And that's where a lot of your results are going to come from, because we didn't get results. We didn't get results for like 2 years, like not stuff like really worth like talking about,
right.
In terms of internet marketing, where we made a full-time living. We were up to like $3,000, $4,000 a month collectively, which is good. It was
right.
good enough for us, but it wasn't until learning and being aggressive in how we were learning for the first few years that we have been able to get to where we are now, where we're actually enjoying the fruits of our labor, our investment, of our time, and all that stuff.
And like enjoying the process of marketing too, which I never anticipated that I would. I just never thought that I would be down this path that I'm on, actually.
Yeah.
You know?
We got a really brilliant question from Brandy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brandy's question is, how many views on Facebook for blogging would I need in order to create 30 leads per day? So the question, I think, is a little bit more about how many blog visitors do I need in order to get 30 leads per day?
Mm.
So that depends on your numbers, okay? So here's what I mean. If you've got Google Analytics on your blog, which you can install with the widgets, you're going to be able to dig up the data to find out how many visitors are creating how many leads, okay? How many visitors are creating how many leads? So I know that the blog that I just created a few weeks ago, I put all this crazy stuff on it to help increase the amount of conversions that I was getting on the blog, with pop-ups and special side banners and stuff like that. And I was able to get 1 out of 5 visitors to give me their email address, right? So in order to get 30 leads per day strictly from blogging with those numbers, I would have to get 150 visitors per day. Mm-hmm. Okay? In the last week or so, Nikki and I have gotten much closer to 150 visitors per day on that blog. Mm-hmm. I haven't even shown you the stats yet. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if she's seen Aweber the last few days, but we've been getting a lot of leads through that blog. Okay? And so it depends on what your conversion rate is from the blog visitor to an actual subscriber. So it's like, if you find out that 1 out of every 10 visitors is getting on your email list and you want 30 leads per day, well, you multiply the number of visitors, by 30 and for each, and you find out, okay, if I'm getting 1 out of 10 and I want 30 per day, I'm going to need 300 visitors per day. Okay? So you find out how much traffic it takes to get 1 lead, how many visitors to get 1 lead, and that will help you determine how many total visitors you'll need to get your 30 leads per day. Does that make sense, Brandy? So even if the number makes you shit your pants a little bit, right? It's still the number that you want to get to.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
And that's a good thing too, because I'll be honest, the average that Nikki and I, have gotten on blogging, I mean, 10, 15 leads per day when we were originally, because we stepped away from blogging for a while.
Yeah.
And we were getting about 10 leads, 8 to 10 leads per day blogging before the blog bomb, before the blog beast hit and all of our stuff got de-indexed, which we don't have to worry about anymore. The new platform fixed all that stuff that happened. We were getting about 10 leads per day. So if I went back to reverse engineer all that and I wanted to get us to 30, I would either put out 3 times as many posts to get there, or find out how to get the posts that we had into the hands of 3 times as many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So I know that a bunch of you are like the fact that you're now thinking bigger,
Yeah.
okay, is going to help tremendously in what you're able to create in your marketing. I can promise that.
Yes.
I can promise that. So don't get discouraged with what you're doing. Just move forward with where you are right now. And if you have one lead today, shoot for your next target being 2 leads tomorrow. You know, work on the next big milestone for you. Right? That's how you get to where you want to go.
Oh, well, so can we switch subjects right now?
Sure.
It's still about the survey, the last question.
Okay.
So one of the most fascinating things that I found looking through the surveys is that so many of you answered the last question, like what your vision is for the team.
Tribe.
How do you, or I'm saying tribe now. Okay, I'm so sorry.
I know. We got to retrain ourselves now.
Yeah, we got to retrain ourselves. So so I was looking at that question was like, what is your vision? What would you like to see happen for the tribe? Like, do you want to see us on, an island or whatever the case is? And so many of the answers were so similar. They're so similar, and they're actually similar to the vision that Abram and I have had. So we're actually, as far as like our aspirations and how we want to see us getting together and interacting, it is like so similar and resonant. I was actually kind of blown. I was like, oh my gosh! And this person wants to go.
It's really cool.
Like almost everybody wants to like have like some sort of oceanic beach experience, like water and sunshine and all of that. And there were a lot of requests for like luxury culinary experiences, being on a yacht, swimming with dolphins was a suggestion that somebody had put. Getting together in some part of the world and having a mastermind. And I just want to acknowledge that and kind of cast the seeds for that vision. Abram and I have been playing with, for ourselves, like incentivizing ourselves. Like, for example, if we reach this income this month, we're going to give ourselves this. If we reach this income, we're going to give ourselves this. So, I know that a lot of people are motivated. We can be motivated by getting away from pain, but we can also be inspired by what's to come and what's a new possibility. And I feel like a lot of our tribe is resonant with that. So I'm not making any promises. But I will look at, and we're all going to look at, the tribal council is going to talk about this. We're going to look at us just setting a date for 2015. And it's probably going to be, spring to summertime, for all of us to go on some sort of amazing, luxurious experience. So that's been our vision for a long time. It's been my vision. I'm like, what would it be like to take everybody on like this luxurious boat trip or stay in like one of those mansions? Not necessarily like, yeah, we could do something before an event. We're probably not going to do it for Vegas, but one of the next events. But like actually between events, having us go to like Jamaica or the Caribbean or just a beautiful spot in the world where we can do yoga and some sort of music, or it's like a guide. It's almost like a guided retreat, replenishing retreat, but we're also going to do marketing stuff at the same time. So I'm putting it out there. I think it's exciting. I think we can totally do it. And I know for me, if I set that date, it's gonna be more incentive for me to like actually hit those targets, because you can't come on these trips unless you make money.
You won't be able to pay for it.
You won't be able to pay for it.
Yep.
And one of the things that Dave Wood has said, and I've noticed this myself too, is like one of the most powerful ways that people can have a transformation in their income is to have an identity shift. So it's by hanging out with people who are rocking it in their business and giving them an experience that is beyond their current reality.
Right.
So it's like when Tracy Walker on the with the Dream Team, they went to Jamaica and they had like people who would like iron your underwear.
Right.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? They would iron your underwear if you wanted them to iron your underwear. They had maid service and butler service and private chefs and all this stuff. And it just like really catapulted some of the people who were there, a lot of the people actually, because they had this identity shift. all of a sudden being rich, being a multimillionaire or whatever lifestyle you want is tangible. So that is something that I'm going to say is important to me. It's something that I've wanted to create since we actually gotten started in the first year. So it's got to happen. It's going to happen. So that's what I want to say about that. I want to leave us on a high note with visioning. Let's all keep seeing that happening. And the other thing is, I'll just leave you with my weird new member coaching story. Abram's shitting in his pants.
Oh yeah. Before you say that, get your ticket to Vegas.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we're talking about, events like you're not going to be able to come to these exclusive VIP resort style incredible luxurious events if you don't come to the Vegas event. Like if you don't come to the events, you're not going to come to like this type of experience.
The events aren't even like a question.
Right.
Like if you're in the business, you're just at the events.
And hey, even at our level of income, there are times it was a little uncomfortable for us to go, and it's not always convenient. And there's our dog, and there's this, and there's that, and some people have kids, and I get that. It's all about how badly do you want it? How much do you want to make this happen? And then my weird story is that. So I was doing a call. This was like in the first couple months that we got started.
Oh, this one. Oh, I know the one you're going to talk about now.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So I'm talking to this woman, and she's like, you guys ready for this? This is just, it's just so wild. It's out of this world. And she goes, I just start asking her some of the questions or just.
Well, you were playing your role, weren't you?
We don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
So she goes, well, I'm very disoriented right now because I'm a walk-in. And I just walked in about 6 months ago.
New member coaching call.
This is a new member coaching. She goes, I'm a walk-in. I just walked in like 6 months ago. I'm still getting used to my body. I'm still getting used to this planet. I want to do this, but I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know. And I know we've got some very spiritual out there people on our team. Some of you may or may not know this, that a walk-in is like somebody that it's the idea that a being can come in and take over a body, and then the other spirit leaves. So she was like, I am this walk-in. So I'm not going to call this woman crazy, and to be honest, I think it's possible. I have some very out there, beliefs and sort of awarenesses of the universe. Whether or not it's true, I mean, whatever. But it ended up being this whole, it was like a therapy session for her where I was helping her to adjust to her
new body,
new circumstances of incarnating on the planet. And she goes, yeah, I don't know if I actually joined the business. I think I joined it so that I could talk to you about being a walk-in. And I was like, I'm glad I could help you. And that was that, and then she left. I don't think it gets more bizarre than that.
And sometimes your new member coaching sessions get a little bit weird, but then you can tell a story about it to your team, on some hangout in the future, right?
Right.
And so you never know about how funny this business can be, and I think it's one of the most endearing aspects of the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to tell it, because it's like. That her where she was at in her experience was about her, and for me, I'm just one of those people. I don't feel it's my place to ever invalidate somebody's experience like that, and it's like you just gotta roll with it. And anytime you guys have a weird session with somebody, you can think of my session. I want you to do so many new member coachings that you get a weirdo that tops mine, and then I want you to tell me about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like everybody's like, well, like a host. Yeah, it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, kind of. Yeah. So Don says I'd be walking away unless she was cute. Well, it was over the phone. Even Captain Kirk like green aliens. Ha ha ha.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. Funny. It was just really like. You have this moment where you're like, okay, I guess we're gonna go there.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, feels like you guys are much more clear now than you were before, and I don't know the next time we're gonna do a hangout, but it'll be in the new year, just because I think the holidays are a strange time for everybody, and we'll schedule some more time. But in the meantime, this is a hot time.
Yeah.
To bring new people into the business. You're going to be chatting with a lot of people that you probably haven't seen in a while, friends, family, relatives. You never know what kind of conversations come up. It's time to build this team, this tribe, this tribe from the ground up. We get to start from scratch, which I think is one of the cool things about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's rock 2015. We'll see you guys on the interwebs. Hope you have a super magical holiday season. And if we see some of you guys over that season, cool. If not, we'll see the rest of you in Vegas, and we'll see you next year, 2015. All right?
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. All right, good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.